This is Ryan.
Hey, and this is Michael. Welcome to another episode of All Day Unpacked. Week 3 recap just finished tonight with the Washington Commanders sending the Bengals to 0-3. Did not see that one coming, did we?
No, we didn't.
Jaden Daniels played out of his mind. It was, he played so well in that. I have to say, what a performance for him. So obviously
I want to see a moment of the big man catching the touchdown. You got to give that big man a moment.
I hope the big man gets the moment, because Jaden Daniels' moment should be getting a moment where he dropped that one in the bucket to Terry McLaurin. That was beautiful.
Yes.
Or McLaurin's moment, but McLaurin, whoever, that needs to be a moment for somebody, because that was just a really nice throw.
Yes, but for all the dollar common moments out there, big man needs to get one. I don't know what his name is, but he's got to get one.
Scott, I think was his last name, like something Scott maybe, but
76,
yeah, I can't remember. Anyway, it did make me wonder a little bit before we're gonna get into like our picks and how we did and all that. But something that kind of occurred to me was that maybe they got a little too frisky with the with moments, in that like some of the guys that got their moments in like from week 1 kind of moments, and it's like if they just would have waited maybe another week or two.
Oh, I see.
I feel like there would have been a lot better choices for some of these guys. Like,
you're talking about the video choice.
Yeah. I'm saying that they kind of rushed, even if you're going to pick something from week 1, I think most people would have been cool waiting until like week 4. If they'd have said like, hey, we're going to wait and watch the first 4 weeks and then pick like a good play from the first 4 weeks and make that their moment. Yeah. I would have been completely okay with sitting with a bunch of moments that didn't have a play assigned to them yet. Like I wasn't like, where's my play? Where's my play? I feel like they may have missed some really good plays there. So I hope they don't get kind of lost, in the season.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's going to happen. But, when I think back, one comes to mind, and it's a segue to what we're going to talk about next, and I know it's coming, is the Trevor Lawrence moment. His debut is just like a pass to like Laquan Treadwell in a game they got smoked on. And speaking of getting smoked, I'm just going to go ahead and just say my Jaguars, who I thought were going to win, are now 0-3. My life is in shambles. After this, I'll probably be at the bar until 2 a.m. till Michael comes and picks me up and bails me out of jail. So I'll be down there fighting somebody. I don't know.
Yeah. So you got any more pro tips for us this week, or I'm gonna take it easy. I get it. We've all been there. That
47-10 is get bad.
Yeah. I mean, on the bright side, Trevor Lawrence threw Hamlin his first interception, so he was feeling very charitable. Trevor Lawrence is also available for birthday parties if you want him to come throw some picks to your kids.
He didn't really do that. I mean, Trevor Lawrence was not, I don't want to bore people with this, but I mean, our defense was we would definitely not get a defensive team moment for that one.
No. And you and I, we've gone back and forth on this, and I still say they should have drafted Aiden Hutchinson. I don't care if he should be on the Lions. If you're the Jaguars, you should have drafted Aiden Hutchinson.
Well, guess what? Aiden Hutchinson is probably like, hey, I'm glad I'm on the Lions.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would like to note that I tried to double down and take a 21-point spread on the Jaguars when it got really bad, and still lost at that. Well, but did take the Commanders. And
there you go. That's good.
I did take that one.
I would like to say that you cutting up our discussion video and putting it online and me watching it and talking about how the Packers fuck me every time I bet against them actually inspired me. I hadn't made my bet yet. I was saying I was going to make my bet and bet on the Titans, but watching that video and listening to myself sound like an absolute idiot that was still going to go with the Titans, I changed my mind and I put my money on the Packers. And you're a liar.
You're a liar.
I was a liar. So I went in on the Packers this weekend and was justly rewarded, which helped make up for a few of the other games that I thought were absolute locks that were not. Did not see the Andy Dalton. I mean, we did. I watched it back and we were saying, hey, maybe the Red Rocket will break out, and it was kind of just a passing thought. But sure as shit, man, he was unbelievable.
I saw an interview with him, and they said, do you know who the only quarterback is that has thrown for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns? And she's like, it's you, Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
The only person this season. So
Yep.
I mean, I don't. It might be Josh Allen at this point now. I don't.
Who? I mean,
Josh Allen probably is.
Josh Allen tonight probably joined that club. I mean, he was.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, Jesus. Yeah. But
anyway.
Up until that point, I mean, but like you look at like who the like top quarterbacks are right now, and it's Andy Dalton Sam Darnold and Geno Smith, and even Danny Jones threw for 2 touchdowns on Sunday to Malik Neighbors. So it was a little crazy. We had a couple of calls that we missed and a couple of calls we hit. You and I disagreed on that Ravens-Cowboys game. It turned out that the Ravens came through for me and won there. I did think the Niners were going to pull a game out. I thought that Bell would be able to catch a ball, but it turns out he wasn't. And the Rams were able to pull that game out. And, man, the Niners just handed it right over, and you absolutely called that one. So
I got to get one
back and forth, a little bit back and forth there. But the one that we were going to see about this week was that Steelers-Chargers game, and your Chargers they didn't show.
No.
So
they didn't. I didn't. I mean, hey, I mean, if you would have told me, I mean, this is what's great about the NFL. The fact that the Steelers are 3-0. I mean, if you would have called that at the beginning of the season, they would have said, no way.
Like it's crazy because you'd think as a Bears fan, I'd be like sad that Justin Fields is doing so well on another team. But I'm honestly, I'm kind of a low key Steelers fan this year just because I really like Justin Fields. So I'm happy to see him doing well on that team. Sure. And he was making some great throws on Sunday. Like he is moving beyond just being like a game manager there. Like he was hitting guys in stride, in windows. Go back and watch the tape.
I know. No. He made some great throws, but like, let's just it's week 3.
Yeah, I'm not.
There's a lot of football to be played.
I'm not saying Super Bowl or bust. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying he is like you're starting to see him play the way that a lot of people thought he could, and if he can keep that type of play up throughout a whole season, Russell Wilson will never see the field. I mean, it's just.
I mean, if they keep winning games, Russell Wilson will never see the field.
Yeah. Bo Nix showed up.
Yeah.
We were kind of wondering about him, and he really showed up this weekend and came through, and that was good to see. I mean, it was he was impressive looking.
Right.
Seahawks took care
Lions
of the
Cardinals game. Okay, yeah. Lions Cardinals game was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one. Low scoring. Speaking of low scoring, I thought the Eagles Saints was going to be a high scoring affair, and it went to halftime 3-0.
Yeah. So the Saints did shit the bed. I did get that right.
You did call it. The Saints did shit the bed. So that was absolutely what happened there, and it was it was. It was
a rough week.
It's just a crazy week. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you were any type of football pool trying to pick games,
I think a lot of Survivor pools ended for a lot of people this week.
The all-day Survivor pool, I know that in the first week, a lot of people had the Bengals, and in the second week, a lot of people had the Ravens. And I got to imagine that, I mean, it was down to like 140-some people already in the third week. And I got to imagine
I bet you a lot of people had the Raiders going into this week.
Do you think so?
Yeah. The Panthers had looked so bad that I can't imagine that at least some, I mean, maybe not a ton, but like I'll bet you a bunch of people picked. I mean, if not, maybe the Seahawks just because the Dolphins had no Tua.
Okay,
that
was actually like, that was a kind of a sure shot.
Yeah, that probably felt like one of the bigger locks of the week that actually came through. But man, nothing. But this is what makes the NFL great. When nothing is safe, when no team is perfect or whatever. So it's it's good watching right now for sure.
Yes. And how about the Texans getting blown out by the Vikings?
Yeah,
30-47.
Right. We didn't even talk on that. It is like Brian Flores is so good at calling defense. It is crazy how he kind of got a lot of disrespect from the Dolphins situation where he's got the lawsuit and Tua kind of badmouthed him. And it sounds like he coaches kind of the Bill Belichick way, and that didn't sit well with Tua. And, everybody's got different. Yeah. But man, I'll tell you what he can do. He calls defense because they made CJ Stroud hadn't looked that bad since I can't remember who it was last year they played like midseason. I want to say it was like maybe the Jets kind of shut him down or some team in like the middle, like kind of like late November-ish. Like I think it was the game where he got hurt or maybe it was the game before, but there was like a game there where he didn't look so hot. He was kind of doing really well and he kind of got, not so hot that he got hurt and then he came back and just absolutely was like tearing it up. But
Got it.
He hadn't looked that bad since then. He just did not look like he did not look comfortable. Didn't like he knew where to go with the ball.
Sure.
That was a great job by the Vikings. And then
Sam
Kevin
Darnold
O'Connell on the other side, calling plays for Sam Darnold. It's like unbelievable. So
that Sam Darnold moment might be going on. I haven't checked it, but
I mean, it's definitely got some value now in the, in the playbook. I mean, it's his only moment. It's a rare. So, it's
speaking
useful.
Of playbook, what was it? There was six winners in the hard mode, and there was how many were there in the medium? It was I think Diamond posted it somewhere.
20-something, 26-ish.
I'll
32?
check it. I'll check it out. How'd you do this week?
I think I hit 4 out of 5. I think I had 4 out of 5. I had the one that, which of course, the one that got me was I thought for 2 touchdown passes, I had Derek Carr.
Yeah.
I put down 2. He got 1. That got me. That was it.
Got it. So I didn't find the amount, but what I did find is the picture of, I don't know who that is from the Dolphins, but hanging out this week.
It's Braxton Berrios.
Was that this week?
Your timeline has that, not
that is our timeline.
Oh, that's our timeline. Okay. That says a lot about us, doesn't it?
Wait a minute.
All right, here we go. I got the numbers. There were 26 winners in medium and 152 in easy mode. And so that made it a total of 13, just over 13 grand that got paid out this week to people. So, not, that's a good number of winners, I think.
What was the medium level again? It was how many?
26.
26. Okay.
So $2,600 there. 6 people got $1,500 each. So that's 9 grand there. And then, a good chunk of people got the easy one. So it was like just over 13 grand got paid out for the week. And that feels like, I feel like they got it right. Like that feels like about right to me. And
I mean, here's the thing that I like about Playbook. I just want to go on the record and say this, is that you got nobody to bitch at but yourself. It's like, that's the thing I like about this, is that people can't sit there and say, well, this happened and that happened. It's like, you picked the fucking players. You lost. So it's like, it cuts like the bitching out of it. That's the element that I kind of,
I'm sure there's people bitching about like, oh, so-and-so, I would have picked them, but they don't have a rare, they don't have this, they don't have that. So trust me, there's people. Yeah, I know. There are people out there making complaints. I guarantee it. I was busy with, real life a lot lately, the last week or two. So I haven't been in the Discord as much, but I guarantee you there's people in there bitching about that. So that being said, I think it's going well. Look, I didn't win anything. I missed in all 3 this week, but I'm glad, I feel like those were good numbers. I like seeing about numbers. 6 people hit for 1,500. So congrats to those people, and to everybody who won. So great job to those who did. Yeah. Shout out to Diamond for throwing the data out for everybody. Always helpful to be able to see that kind of stuff. Helps us understand what's going on, and looking forward to more playbooks.
And like we posted, I'd like people to share what they did with their winnings. Tell us what I'm curious to know. I mean, I'm sure that we could probably track it down somehow, but just if you win something, I mean, it's kind of interesting to know. What are you going to do with your winnings? You're going to sit on it? Is there like a certain moment that you're looking to invest in? I mean, I've been saying that rears have been kind of plummeting and going lower. I mean, is there a lot of deals on the table? Do you see it that way? Or are you holding out and waiting for a better deal? Or, what's the game plan?
I know that one of the winners of the hard level was actually 2 guys who pooled their legendaries together and won that. So not a bad. I don't know if more people are doing that, but that's an interesting strategy, right? If you don't have as many legendaries, or if you don't have as many rares, like finding other people pooling together and then splitting it. So I don't know how they split it. Maybe it was like a 50-50 thing, but things like that. Great idea. Like it's a way for you to compete and participate. And they were 2 dudes now walk away with $750 each. That's a good, that's a healthy chunk of change to put into the marketplace. So
yeah, I mean, if it's going to 2 accounts, probably even better.
Yeah. All right. So we'll shift gears. We're going to talk a little bit in keeping with the spirit of what's been going on so far. We had another week. We had another pack drop. Now, this is the first time we had a pack drop that shifted away from the, up until now, it had been all the rookie moments, but we're at a point now where about 90% of those moments are distributed. Now, a lot of them are still in packs that people own and are holding on in the secondary marketplace, but 90% of those rookie moments are out in the wild. It's just up to people to buy, rip, and do whatever they want to do. So we've got that. And then now we had our first kind of new drop, which was the Spark of Greatness drop. That was a series last year, actually. So this was kind of they brought back a series from last year that had 9, I want to say 8 or 9, I think it was 8 or 9 rares in it that were the Spark of Greatness set. And then you had the Stadium set, which was the uncommons. So uncommons were back. We had talked about this. No one had really mentioned uncommons up until we saw them in this pack drop. So
I thought they were dead.
Yeah, we kind of thought that those were maybe dead. Turns out they're not. They're back. No. You had uncommons minting at about 1,500. And then the commons, the base set, minting at 7,500, which compared to last year at 3,000 is a considerable jump up. So now we're minting 7,500 of the moments for this year's. A couple of things. One, first of all, they're doing the lock as usual. So all the rares in the packs, you have to get one of each in order to lock for Mason off of the Niners, who's kind of the new, the star,
the new
lock
guy.
Yeah. His debut, which again, that'll be a moment that'll be sought after, very useful in Rumble, very useful in Playbook. Mm-hmm. So a lot of utility for that moment. It will be highly sought after. So I think that's what they're doing to try to keep people to, buy these moments and complete the challenge.
Sure.
So anyway, within those rares, they did a decent job, I think. There's some debuts, right? There was a debut of
guy from the Bengals.
The new Bengals receiver. I can't remember his name. Not his rookie debut though.
It's AI. I don't know how to say it. It was it's a tough one. Like Andre
Isavas. Man, I don't know.
Yeah, we're butchering that one.
Yeah, we absolutely. So he had his debut. You had DJ Dallas's debut, which was kind of a cool moment. It was the first kickoff return for a touchdown with the new kickoff rules. You had an Alontae Taylor debut. You had a Jalen Tolbert debut. You had a
Jamarcus Ingram.
Jamarcus Ingram debut. So those were the debuts, and then you had a rare for Alec Pierce, who did not have a rare, but is a weapon on the Colts and gets used a lot. So I can see why they did that. Yep. And then Jamison Williams got a rare.
I thought that was a decent one.
Yeah, which is, I think, was good because his one rare is pretty expensive because it's his debut moment. There's not a lot of them.
Right. I think it was a draw it up or something like that.
Yeah, it was. It was like a season two, I think, draw it up. Yeah, low count. And so now he's got a little bit more of an accessible moment there. So nice job of getting a couple players like that some accessible moments.
Right. The one I will comment on is the Isaiah Likely one. That was kind of a weird one.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, he already had a rare, and it was it was a 300 count. And I don't know if they just wanted more Isaiah Likely's out there because they're trying to improve the ability for people to use it for Playbook. But they had the trade in where it's like you're essentially trading in a rare for a rare. And it's like some people were trading up to 3 rares of Isaiah Likely for this new one. And I feel like the amount that the other one was worth was much higher than the one that's out now is currently worth. So it's like you're almost giving up, the old one, which was like, I know it was well over $8. Mm-hmm. And some people gave as many as 3 away or traded them in. And then you just get this new moment that's only valued at $8.
Well, I think that goes in with some of the mentality that some people just don't want to put any more dollar amount into the ecosystem. And so they would rather, like, people who invested big in series 1, 2, up until last year, some of those people just don't want to put any more money in. So they just want to be able to burn their old collection, and they're willing to give away 3 just to get 1, just to avoid having to pay more cash, right?
Right. So, but I guess my point was simply that you could have just used the old Isaiah Likely as a rare in Playbook versus the new one. So that, all the other ones seem to make sense.
You could, unless you want to lock to get Mason, in which case you need the new one. So I think a lot of people want that Mason.
Got it. Okay. That's a fair point. Okay. Moment. So maybe that is maybe a little bit of the driving force behind that.
Again, I'm reading into things here, but that would be my guess.
Sure. Yeah, that could definitely be a good reason.
So yeah, so they did the uncommon set, and with that they did a bunch of guys that just were, had some good plays from the, prior weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
There was a couple of debuts in there. Not a ton. I know Daryl Taylor from the Bears got one, a defensive player. Keon White from the Patriots got a debut moment. Reed Blankenship from the Eagles got one.
Yeah.
Jaguar, what's his name? Bigsby from the
Tank.
Jags
Yeah.
got one.
I thought that was a common. Was that an uncommon?
Is that a common?
I think it
Oh, you know
is.
what? You're right. That was a common. And so was Reed Blankenship. The
But I mean,
uncommons were
yeah,
just, the uncommons were just Keon White and Daryl Taylor. And then there was some other like kind of stars mixed in there as well.
yes.
Like Pacheco got a one, Myles Garrett got one. And here I'm
Shakir
looking
from
at
the
the list
Bills
now.
got one.
Shakir, Brian Robinson, J.K. Dobbins, who had a great, first game. Justin Fields, and
Isaiah
then
Pacheco,
commons. There were a bunch of commons. So
another Myles Garrett was kind of I don't really understand that one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking through the list and I'm seeing in the commons, J.C. Horn from the Panthers got a debut moment.
Yeah,
I'm not, there's some all right moments. A couple of stars, again, like we got another Justin Jefferson common, we got another Patrick Mahomes common, Devontae Adams got a common. So Jamar Chase, another common, Kyler Murray. So yeah, and Stafford. So, some big names get some commons. I gotta say I'm a little worried about 7,500.
I mean,
I'm thinking we're gonna be seeing a lot of these on floaty for a quarter before long.
I mean, I got to think that the price on floaty is going to start dipping a little bit too. I mean, again, some of these, it's like, I mean, I don't want to be, pessimistic, but could they get down to like 5-10 cents?
I mean, at what point though does it become not worth listing? I mean, well, no, it's pretty easy. Floaty makes it very easy to list like bulk. You can just kind of select and say listed at, the average sale price, listed at, this X discount, I think off of the average. I haven't done it, but I see things sometimes kind of get dumped on the market. So I imagine that's how it's getting done.
I mean, what is the lowest? I mean, I would think a quarter would be, why would you abandon ship for a quarter?
Again, I don't know, but there are people out there who we've seen moments get as low, I want to say, is like in the 19-20 cent range.
I think, 19 and 18 is the lowest I've seen.
Yeah. There's got to be a point where it just becomes not even worth it. Although there's going to be somebody out there who's just going to say, sell it at, X% off of this, price, and it's going to push it down lower and lower. So, I mean, we might see it get down lower, but to your point, it's like, what? Okay, like if you're selling guys for like a dime or whatever, like how many do you have to sell before you make enough? It's, you have to sell so many to get anything worthwhile back.
I think that people look at them as though they're trash in a sense.
Yeah, they just want them out of their collection.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I get that sentiment just because I think, and this would be a great opportunity for, all day too. We've talked about this before, like just how could they maybe, take a better way to display your collection, right? So if you've got, 50 of a moment, because it's this common that you pull a ton of, instead of showing me 50 in a row, like stack them, put a little 50 on there. So I know I got a stack of 50.
Sure.
That type of thing.
Yeah. I think that would be much easier. And I'm sure there's different ways. Like, I mean, again, like how you look through the marketplace, I would feel like there's got to be some way that you could filter them by like, hey, let's see all my Bengals that I've got, all the Bengal rares. It's just, make it simplistic.
Which you can do.
Ways that you can filter it now, but it's not like they're not in stacks. Again,
they're not right. And I agree. I think it'd be nice if they could just like stack them. And then if you could like explode the stacks and look at, here's like, and then sorts of from like low to high cereal or whatever I think there'd be some interesting, like that'd be some nice functionality. It'd be great to put it in the app. It would be, nice to put it on the site. So something for them to look at there. To help people manage kind of these big stacks of commons and such.
Yes. But I mean, I got to think that, some of these are going to, like I said about kind of the rare situation, some of these are going to get pretty damn low. I mean, I feel like at this point they're now at a point where there's so many commons where it's just like, there's no turning back now. Like every common is pretty much outside of these rookie moments, pretty much going to start heading to $1. I mean, there's very few.
Yep. So well, I think some of the debuts might do okay for players that are desirable. So, but we'll see. But let's shift over now and talk about a little bit more the positive side, which is the rookie debuts, which it's been really interesting to watch. We talked about this. We, always said that during the season, you love to make the stock analogy, which is you're going to watch mid-game, these guys, their value is going to go up and down as they play better and worse. And so, sure enough, this week was a really great kind of microcosm of that, in the sense of, we've been watching Caleb Williams kind of struggle to get his footing. And so he's dropped from kind of that 120, 130 range down to where he's at now, which is almost like 85. So we've seen him just steadily decline because he just hasn't been, he just hasn't done anything like crazy yet. And so
Jaden Daniels is 85 and Caleb Williams is 87. He's about to surpass him.
Exactly. And that was exactly where I was going. So we saw Jaden Daniels start high, kind of drop down, and he actually got down in like the high 50s at one point.
Sure.
And then you could literally see tonight where he started playing well, and it has skyrocketed to where he's at now, which is 85, and about to pass Caleb. And rightfully so. He's playing better. He should be worth more. So, his chances of winning that Rookie of the Year, I think, just shot through the roof with that performance. If you can put a few of those together, look out. But what was really interesting was to watch last week, Marvin Harrison Jr., who was, a guy who was, kind of in the 30, 40 range when he kind of started out or got down there or whatever. Started higher because he was in the later release, but dropped down and then shot up to 70 after he had 2 touchdowns last week. And then this week kind of didn't, he had a touchdown, but he didn't have like the same dominant performance. And now he's back down at 55 because Malik Neighbors, who was down around 35 last week because everybody's so down on the Giants, scores 2 touchdowns on Sunday and looks like, he's making catches over the top of guys' heads and just looks like an absolute star. And he rockets up to 60. So it's been really, interesting to watch kind of the jockeying of people as they see a guy break out and they chase his, moment up.
Yeah. And again, I mean, I think that anybody with a brain in their head would just, say whoever's had a bad week, know that they're eventually going to come around. And the one that I see that to me is kind of the steal right now is Michael Penix Jr. He was at $15, and I keep seeing Kirk Cousins in that Chiefs game landed on his back. 18 weeks, he's not going to make it that far. So Michael Penix Jr., I think, is going to get in at some point. So we will get a viewing of him, and buying him at $15, $16, whatever he's at right now. Okay, whatever he's at, there's going to be a point. Like if you're trying to buy and sell moments, there's going to be a point if you just buy and hold that he'll come in. He'll get to 40 and you can unleash him if you want to, or you can collect him or however the hell you want to do it. But I think that's pretty much destined to happen. Now, whether he tears it up or not, we don't know that. But I'd say that that's kind of like the one that I look at that's kind of a steal right now.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing with Drake May, I think, too, is he's knocking on the door. I mean, he's about to get in. And so, again,
Is he, though? They're 2-1. Aren't
they? They are, but Brissett got hurt last week. So he went
wait a minute. Are they 2-1 or they're 1-2?
They're
1-2, aren't they? Because they lost the first week.
Bengals. No, they beat the Bengals.
And then they lost in overtime to the Seahawks. And then they lost badly to the Jets. So they are 1-2.
Yeah. So they're 1-2. So Drake May will see the field this year. It's the same thing as Penix. And so, again, he's a little bit more because I think people have a little bit higher of an expectation and know that he's going to get in there. But it's interesting because you're seeing a mix of, I think where you're seeing the real dollar chasing is that people are trying to get more of the guy who's going to be the Rookie of the Year winner, versus,
maybe,
because you get that, if you're in the top 50 of that player, you got a free legend. If they finish in the top 5 voting, you get a free legendary of that player. So you're going to see people chase those players to try to get on the board so they can make the top 50 and get that free legendary. Because why not? I mean, why wouldn't you? And I think as the race tightens, as we go further into the year, you're going to see the prices of the top, 5 to 8 guys in the rookie of the year race really ratchet up as people, kind of hang on to them and don't want to sell and start to realize the value of them. So that's what I think that's kind of what happened with Top Shot, was that the values kind of ratcheted up over time. And I feel like the same thing is going to start happening. Like, even again, it's like right now you see Jaden Daniels is at 85.
Right.
And if he, that's right now, if he has that same performance 2 more weeks, he's going to be at like 110, 125. He's going to start going up to where Caleb was, at the beginning of the year, and, that kind of thing.
Well, right. And the other thing is the supply is going to kind of get sucked up as people are grabbing these moments and buying them. They're falling into the right hands. Certain people are not going to flip them. So I feel like, the supply is going to start to dry up, which is going to drive the price up. That's why I feel like, I don't think Michael Penix Jr. is maybe going to be in the top 5. So for that, I don't think he might be the guy for that. But you got to think that, Marvin Harrison Jr., to me, that's kind of a slam dunk for, unless he gets hurt.
Yeah. So barring injury, who are your top 5 rookies right now? Like, who do you think, if you're going to call what you see happening, not today, I'm not asking you like today, who are the top 5 rookies? I'm saying, thinking about how the rest of the season plays out at the end of the season, who are your top 5 offensive rookies?
I'm going to go with Jaden Daniels.
Okay. That's a safe pick.
I'm going to take, I know I'm going to lose on one of these, but I'm going to say Marvin Harrison Jr.
Okay. It's not, I'm
going to say Neighbors and Harrison Jr. I think those two are kind of a slam dunk. I don't think Worthy is one of them. I'm really wondering on Caleb Williams. I don't know about Bo Nix. I'd have to look at how the voting's worked in the past. Is it, I don't know if there's a lot of quarterbacks that come in second and third place, or if it's just unanimously a quarterback, and then it's like a bunch of receivers and running backs that follow. I know defense, obviously, they're doing rookie of the year on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, defense is separate, so that's not even a thing.
Yeah, I'm still, and this is like, maybe I'm like a little bit cheering for the home team, but I still think Brian Thomas Jr. lands at like number 5. And I'm going to go ahead and take Caleb Williams with my other pick, just because Drake May is not going to be the guy. It's not going to be Bo Nix, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think, is there any other rookie quarterback? I can tell you who comeback player of the year might be, though. And that's going to be Andy Dalton or Sam Darnold are going to be fighting it out.
Or Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be that guy.
Aaron Rodgers is the odds-on favorite right now if you go betting, Aaron Rodgers is the favorite right now.
Well,
so I'll tell you what, I actually went out and I put Sam Darnold was a pretty long shot. I actually when I was out, put my money on the Packers this weekend. I saw him out there and threw a few bucks on Sam Darnold for comeback player of the year.
They'll probably vote Aaron Rodgers just because of his name, but I'll tell you, if you just stop it right now.
You know what I will say is, I think Aaron Rodgers, through his kind of personality, he's alienated a bunch of people. And so if it's close, I think there's a lot of people who will go, like Sam Darnold better. I'm going to vote for him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that's kind of what I think I could see. Or the other guy you just said too, Andy Dalton could be a guy. There was another guy in the list that I threw a few bucks at too that I thought was a reasonable.
Andy Dalton's probably not going to be the guy.
It wasn't Andy Dalton. It was somebody who was the other guy. Anyway.
And there's probably still somebody, Joe Flacco will probably be in at some point. He'll probably put his hat in the ring. So, and again, with injuries and everything.
J.K. Dobbins has been, it could be J.K. Dobbins. He's been playing, he's been doing really well. But anyway, let's go offense. So offensive rookie of the year, I'll go back. I think the 3 kind of slam dunks right now are, like you said, Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, and Marvin Harrison Jr. I feel like those 3 are like the guys. And then you got 2 spots that are kind of open for debate right now. So I think one of those spots will get filled by a quarterback. It'll either be Bo Nix or Drake May or Caleb Williams or whoever kind of, rises up and does maybe not as well as Jaden Daniels, or maybe, who knows? There's a lot of season left.
There's a lot of
I think another
left.
Quarterback makes the top 5. I don't know who it's going to be. Again, I'll be a homer and just say Caleb, just because, again, he just threw for. If the Bears could figure out some other things, You can see there's some talent there. I don't know if they're going to figure that out though, because
they also don't have Keenan Allen. I mean,
Keenan Allen's out, but the other thing I'll say too is actually it's a shame that Roma Dunze is tied so much to, he's tied so much to Caleb, because I feel like, I watched him and it's like, I almost think, if he was on a different team, you'd be seeing a lot more of him. Like, I think he'd be much more in the conversation if he was on a better team.
Yep. He's got to be weighted down by the Bears.
Correct. Anyway, so I'll say that like a quarterback makes that one. And I kind of think Joe Alt is going to make the top 5.
There you go. You know what? I like that pick.
Yeah. First of all, he's stonewalled a Max Crosby week 1. He has handled business 2 and 3. He did get hurt. In week 3. So I think the seriousness of this injury is going to determine a lot. And it's a leg injury, so I haven't heard what it is. Right. I think we'll find out tomorrow or the day after. So,
but boy,
if he's only out for a week or 2, I think he might make that top 5, because he has been looking really good. And I know it sucks, like, for collectors, it's not a sexy pick, and I know, like, I get that, but I'm telling you right now, the guy, he'll deserve it if he keeps playing the way he's playing and he makes the plays and stays healthy. He'll deserve being a top 5 candidate. So.
Got it. Well, let's just check this out. I'm curious to see. Boy, I don't want to have everybody run and go do it, but 55 moments is the top amount
for Joe Alt.
What's
his price right now?
It's $2. Now,
I'm gonna have to go load up on a little bit of Joe Alt tonight.
Yeah, before we put this out, right?
Yeah.
The price is basically at $4 now.
Yeah, so sorry tomorrow when the price is $3 or $4. It's our fault, because I do think Joe Alt's going to make. Again, I think if that injury is not serious, I'd want to check the injury severity before I do that. But I think he's a good.
Yeah. There's only right now. There's only 3 of them out there. They're new to the market. So there's 3 out there that are $2.
Well,
so
all you got to do is make top 50 for him. You don't have to remember for Joe Alt. All you got to do is make top 50. You don't have to. Be number 1.
Right. But the Heat, like, as it becomes more apparent that he's going to be the guy, the Heat's going to jump up on that. That price is going to jump. So
for sure it will. I mean, but I don't think it's, you look at offensive lineman legendaries and they don't get that much love. So it's like, it'll go up, but it's not like, still won't be one of the more sought out. Like, it will be nothing compared to the heat that goes on Jaden Daniels. Like, Jaden Daniels will get all the heat. And, I mean, again, based on tonight, again, who knows what happens over the next, 13, 14 weeks. But
got it. No, that makes sense. All right. So what are we moving on to next?
Let's see. So we had the fluctuation of the prices, the moments, the pack drop. I think really that was kind of it that we had for now. Unless you want to call week 4 games, or you want to come back later this week and do that.
Let's call them real quick and let's call it a day here.
All right, let's do it.
Week 4 NFL. Well, I can tell you one off the top of my head: Jags and Texans, and I know who you're going to pick.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go Texans after that embarrassing loss. I mean, I know the Jags are embarrassed too, but the Texans are even more embarrassed, and they're at home, so I will take the home team when they're embarrassed.
You know what? I'm going to have to take the Texans. It breaks my heart to do it, but
yeah, I think that's the right choice. Here's a game that became way more interesting thanks to this week. Panthers hosting the Bengals. I mean, the Red Rocket goes back to face his old team in Carolina. I
didn't even think about that. I don't know. I'm going to go Bengals. I'm just going to say,
Panthers come back down. Or you know what? Fuck it. I'm going Panthers.
All right.
Red Rocket. I think the Bengals are they're not looking good. They look like a team that's ready to implode on themselves. Like, you could see the faces. It's a team that's like, they're 0-3. They're desperate. And if anything goes wrong whatsoever against the Panthers, it is going to just absolutely snowball. So,
yeah. Cowboys at Giants.
Yeah. God, here's another one that, like, Cowboys 1-2, Giants
1-2,
played all right, beat up on the Browns.
Yeah. I mean, it's at the Giants. I mean,
right. Giants D-line gets after it. They really disrupted Cleveland.
I'm going to say
Cowboys they'll be able to do the same to the Cowboys. Cowboys defense has been pretty soft.
They were saying the running game, the Derrick Henry's running all over him. I don't know if do the Giants have a running game
They got
anymore
Singletary, who's been running really well, who actually ran well against Cleveland.
Yeah. Okay.
What the hell? I'm gonna go Giants. I'm not gonna put any money on this game, but for the sake of this pick or whatever, my confidence is not high on this game, but I would take the Giants.
There's a couple good ones coming here. Saints at Falcons.
Saints at Falcons. So we had the Saints who started off so hot and then kind of came back to earth last week. And we got the Falcons who have played some really good games, came back and beat the Eagles, who beat the Saints, and then almost really should have beat the Chiefs. That was a pass interference on that
play.
Well,
take the pass interference out of it. Kick the fucking field goal.
I hear you, but that wouldn't have won the game. They lost by 5. So
no, they had a chance to kick the field goal. They went for it on 4th down when they got the pass interference. Then they got the ball back and they were trying to score at the end. They could have held it to the end and kicked the field goal and won.
Yeah, true. I mean, yeah, you're right. I guess they could have got 2 field goals if they would have gotten range there.
Yeah, so they win by 1. I don't understand it.
Dude, it's the Chiefs. I think what it is you think that the Chiefs just score at will, and it's like, here's the thing too, is like Mahomes, he
wasn't playing well.
Yeah, he hasn't been playing well.
I think he knows it. We know coaches psych themselves out when they play the Chiefs. Anyway,
the Chiefs are a tough team to play. Anyway, Saints Falcons. Who you got?
I got the Falcons.
Yeah, I think Falcons at home. I think that's a safe play, but I am gonna just say no and go Saints because why not? Let's keep it spicy. All right, Broncos at the Jets, aka the Zach Wilson Bowl.
I'm going Jets.
Yeah, I got Jets too.
I think the Jets are going to take off here.
The Jets, I'm telling you, the Jets and the Bills are the Bills gelled really quick, but Jets and Bills are like the cream of the crop there in the AFC East.
Unless Bo Nix goes down and Zach Wilson comes in and wins the game.
That, my God, could you imagine? Like, I know it won't ever happen, but let's just for 1 minute just say, if that happened and like Zach Wilson went off and beat the Jets, then I would think the NFL was scripted. Okay. All right. Vikings at Packers. We got the 3-0 Vikings going into the Packers. Might be getting Jordan Love back. Might be rolling out Malik Willis. Doesn't seem to matter right now. These are 2 hot teams going up against each other. What do you got?
I'm going to say the Vikings win this game. Even though I feel like Sam Darnold maybe is going to struggle, I'm going to go with the Vikings until they prove it.
I'm going to go Packers because they always fuck me when I don't pick them. So I am going to pick them. Packers. All right. Steelers go into Indy to play the Colts.
Boy, I tell you, I don't know on this one. I gotta say,
I'm telling you, Steelers are gonna kill them.
You think so?
Anthony Richardson's probably gonna get knocked out of this game.
Yeah, that means Joe Flacco gets.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, that's a great point, boy. Maybe they want to tone it down a little bit then and keep Richardson in.
He looked terrible against the Bears.
Yeah,
I mean,
he did. Yeah,
I mean, he's just like throwing high heaters. It's just.
I saw a stat. His passer rating was like 40 or something.
Right.
And it was the first time a quarterback had a passer rating that low and won a game since like 1984.
Yeah.
I mean, it was ridiculous.
He looked bad.
That game was.
I'm going to go ahead and take the Steelers.
All right. Sorry. I'm having PTSD about that. The 3 hours I wasted watching the Bears lose to the Colts.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the Bears now.
Speaking of the Bears, Rams are at the Bears. Bears are at home. Rams coming in, still beat up. No Puka, no Cooper Kupp. But just beat the Niners.
Bears win.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Bears defense is going to get it. So
Rams are a dome team.
Yeah, I agree. They don't play well. They don't play well outside. So
yeah.
God, as much as I hate to pick the Bears because I feel like I'm cursing them, Bears win.
Probably ugly though.
They don't win any other way. Eagles at Buccaneers. Yeah. Okay.
Buccaneers.
You think the Buccaneers get back on track with that?
I think so. I think the Eagles have they're kind of coming off a pretty big win, and then now they kind of think they're great, and then they come back to earth because they lose to the Buccaneers. I think the Buccaneers are kind of due. Eagles are kind of.
Boy, the Bucs did not look great against the Broncos, but the Broncos have a really solid D. So
they're playing at home 2 weeks in a row. They shit the bed the first week. I think they come back. Wow. It's not like the Eagles are like, the runaway favorites. Anyway,
they're not. But I'm going to go Eagles here because I think that they're. I think Jalen Carter's a game wrecker. I think he's going to get after Mayfield, and it's going to be more ugliness. So I got Eagles.
Okay. Patriots at 49ers.
Patriots at Niners. I got the Niners.
Yeah. Commanders at Cardinals.
Ooh, man. If I want to say the Cardinals, but I'm going to have to go after watching the Commanders going to Cincinnati tonight. I can't go against the Commanders, so I'm going to have to go Commanders.
I feel like the Commanders are going to do a lot of this. We're going to watch them have some high highs and some low lows, and I feel like Cardinals lost a tight one. They've looked pretty good. I think they're due for a win.
Yeah, Cardinals are a good team. Like their Cardinals are going to be competitive all year, all games. So
I would think that your boy Harrison Jr. would have a big game in that one.
I mean, I would think so too, because the Commanders' defense isn't extremely stout, and we just saw Jamar Chase go for 2 touchdowns on him tonight and like just straight go routes. Mm-hmm. So this could, again, I said this last week and it turned out to be a 3-0 game at halftime, but this could be a high scoring game.
Yeah, I could see that being like an overtime game. Maybe Chiefs at Chargers.
Chiefs at Chargers. I don't pick against the Chiefs until they show me that they can lose. So I'm going Chiefs. I never pick against the Chiefs until they lose.
Chargers.
Okay. I mean, Justin Herbert is even going to be available for the game.
Well, okay. So if he's not available for the game, then I would alter my pick. But
I got to imagine, unless his leg is literally falling off, he'll try to get out there. But
yeah,
I love his attitude, but I don't. Although, man, maybe they get J.K. Dobbins rolling. If they have Herbert and the threat of a throw, they could get rolling.
It seems like the Chargers always play them tight. It seems like, I don't know.
Chargers. They do. No, they do. You're right. But I feel like
the Chargers defense gets on track.
When you pick the Chiefs, you also get the refs. So I take the Chiefs.
Hey, man, I will tell you this. The Chiefs, as much as I hate them, they were getting some pretty, they were getting calls on the defensive side.
That last drive, I keep hearing that last drive. They got 3 calls on the last drive. The first one, the pass interference call, was definitely pass interference.
Oh, yeah. All the calls were legit.
There was a call in the middle that was kind of questionable. I think it was another pass interference call. And then the horse collar call was definitely a horse collar. So they did get 1 call in that 3 in a row that was questionable. But I will say this, that call, the thing that I go back to and the way I heard it was, if you see that Kyle Pitts play in the end zone and Kirk Cousins throwing to him, if that would have been Travis Kelce catching that ball and Patrick Mahomes throwing it to him, would there have been a no call there? Not a chance.
Here's the thing. How about this? When the Falcons get 3 15-yarders or 2 15-yarders at least, it's like, go down and score the touchdown. It's like they struggle to put the ball on. They're going for it on 4th down. It's like, just kick the field goal. It's like, again, game management. I have a tough time feeling sorry for the Falcons.
Yeah.
They had the game in hand. If they wanted it, they could have won it. Their D was playing lights out. They had them going 3 and out.
Yeah.
They gave that game away. Browns at Raiders.
The Sun I am disappointed bowl. The Browns and the Raiders. Wow. There's no Raiders here. You got the Raiders?
I got the Raiders. Again, after that embarrassing loss to the Panthers, they're going to be literally punching these guys in the face and saying, you better get out there and play.
I'm only picking the Raiders because they're at home, but my confidence in this game is 0.
Yeah, so. I got to admit that this could be a game where Gardner Minshew really shits the bed.
Yeah, or Deshaun Watson. Or they both shit the bed, and it's like a field goal fest. So who knows? I will call the game of the week is the next game, which is Bills at Ravens.
That's why it's your Sunday night game.
Man, what a great Sunday night game that is too.
Yeah.
Man,
I think that's going to be. I think the Ravens win this game and kind of even up their record because I think they're going to be a good team, and I think the Bills play a team with an actual defense that shows up to the building. Unlike the Jaguars tonight. So I think that
I think I got to go Ravens at home just because, again, they're at home and I think the Bills are flying high and, either team could win this game, but I agree.
3-1's not a bad place to be.
No, especially when you have such a bunch of again, I think the Bills have to be super happy that their team kind of gelled as fast as it did, and they've got 3 wins already. So
how about this?
I think 3-1's fantastic for the Bills going into week 4 or 5.
Titans at Dolphins.
Yeah, we got 2 Monday night games. I love it. I like the I don't know if it's popular or not, but I do like the 2 Monday night games. Just because when one turns into a stinker, like I don't know, tonight, it was great to turn on a game that was actually more competitive and watch that one instead.
So
I'm just being honest, man. It was hard to watch that game at 45-10 or whatever it was.
Yeah, at that point it's hard to watch, but I mean there was not much time left.
Well,
anyway,
wasn't halftime? It was like 35 or 34-3. Anyway, I'm not here to shit on the Jaguars. They can do that themselves.
I think
Titans and Dolphins.
I think the Dolphins pull us out.
Look, here's the thing. If Snoop Huntley is the quarterback, the Dolphins are going to win.
Who the fuck is
I'm leaving it at
Huntley?
that.
I have no idea who Snoop Huntley is.
He was the Ravens backup. He was the Huntley. Tyler Huntley.
Tyler Huntley. Is it Tyler Huntley?
It is Tyler. He goes by Snoop now, apparently.
Oh, okay.
So that's his nickname.
Got it. Okay, I didn't realize
Tyler Snoop Huntley. If Tyler Snoop Huntley is quarterbacking the Dolphins, I will take the Dolphins. If it is anybody else, I will take the Titans. Yeah. I would take the Titans.
Got it. Seahawks and Lions,
which I would say is probably like if the Bills Ravens is game of the week, this is like the 1B because these are two really good teams playing here.
Yeah. This is going to be a great game. I'm going to say the Lions, but I feel like the last time that they played in Detroit, the Seahawks won a really high scoring game. So,
yeah, the Seahawks have actually. I don't know. I'm just going off of pure gut here. I have absolutely no data to back this up, but I feel like the Seahawks have won, or either played the Lions really well or beaten them the last couple times. So that being said, I think I'm going to go Seahawks. I think DK Metcalf is going to have a game.
I got to say that, Geno Smith has got to be the comeback player of the decade. I mean,
yeah, did he win it a couple of years ago? Did he at least get it when he had that breakout year 2 years ago?
But I just like I think of where Geno Smith was after he got punched in the face by, what was it, Bart Scott or something like that?
Was it Bart Scott?
I think it was. I don't know. It was somebody in the Jets, but either way, he was like off the team. He was a total bust out. I think he was like from West Virginia. That's where he went to school. And I remember thinking, oh my God, they took this guy that high. What a bust out. And I remember he went to the Seahawks and sat behind Russell Wilson and just learned. And we're just thinking, yeah, he's going to come out and just suck. And then all of a sudden they're like, we're going with Geno Smith. And it just worked. That never happens. Never. So
yeah,
much credit to that dude.
So just real quick, I pulled the history. The Seahawks against the Lions. The Seahawks have beaten the Lions the last 5 times in a row. And that's been dating back to 2015. So they played in 2023. They beat them 37-31. They played them in 2022. And that was, both of these games were in Detroit. They beat them 48-45. Okay. And then the game before that, they beat them 51-29.
Okay. So here's one thing that we can take away from this. Put these guys, they're Monday night games. So,
yeah.
See, these would be perfect for playbook.
But you can bet the over. So maybe bet the over.
There you go. Let's talk about one thing. Let's discuss who are some of your top picks for Sunday playbook. Now, we don't know what the numbers that you need, but who do you think are going to be some top players that are going to be worth taking?
That's a good, okay. I like this. All right, let's see here.
Let's go quarterback first. Go ahead and give me 3 quarterbacks you think that, if you can get behind these guys.
For Sunday, I like Mahomes. I think Mahomes is going to put some yards out there.
Okay.
I like Kyler Murray. I think I like Kyler Murray on Sunday as well. I think that could be a high scoring game. So I think I like Mahomes. I think I like Kyler Murray. And the Sunday night game, so I can't say Josh Allen or Lamar. So that's interesting. That's limiting. And then let's see, my third one. Oh boy, I am going to go with, you know what? I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth here. Actually, no, I'm going to go CJ Stroud against the Jags.
I think that was, the 3 that I had were, I'm going to go Dak Prescott. Okay. I'm going to go CJ Stroud and Aaron Rodgers.
I'm fine with the other 2. Well, I'll say this. Aaron Rodgers, the Broncos have a really good D, so I think he may not be like as stunning as normal. Dak Prescott against the Giants D front, I think that can be trouble. The one that if I had to pick a 4th quarterback, I think Joey Burrow might. Again, Panthers, were they a one-hit wonder? Could be, and if so, maybe the Bengals are desperate. They may just get after it and just get all over the Panthers. So I could see
Brock
Joe Burrow
Purdy's another one that probably. I mean, again, the Patriots traveling to the East Coast. I got to think the 49ers get back on track. But
you mean the Patriots traveling to the West Coast? But yes, I got you. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, Brock Purdy could be. The Patriots have a good defense, but yeah, Brock Purdy could definitely. I think right now it depends on if he's got like Kittle back or things like that. I mean, he's not going to have McCaffrey, but he needs more weapons out there. It's
well, hey,
they're short some guys, and it shows.
I said Dak Prescott. He's a Thursday night game, so he is not even eligible. So I'm going to retract that. I'm going to go C.J. Stroud. I'm going to go Aaron Rodgers, and I am going to go Brock Purdy. Those are going to be my three. Let's go. Give me 2 running backs.
2 running backs. I'm going Saquon Barkley because he's just unstoppable right now.
Sure.
And I am going to go with, another running back. I'm going to go Alvin Kamara. I think the Falcons have a bad run defense. We saw Saquon chew them up. So, yep, those are my 2. How about you?
I'm going to say, I got to go. I mean, Texans running back, I don't even know who it is. I'm trying to think off the top of my head who they got.
It was Joe Mixon, but I don't know if he's been hurt.
Was he hurt?
So
okay.
He didn't play against the Bears, but to be honest with you, they didn't run well against the Bears. I
don't know about that. I'm going to go
Brees.
I'm going to go Brees Hall.
They didn't run well against the Vikings either. So
I'm going to go Brees Hall.
Okay.
And I'm going to go Aaron Jones revenge game against the Packers.
Okay. I like that pick a lot. I don't love Brees Hall again just because I think Denver defense has been good, but
Denver defense traveling to the East Coast. I don't know about that.
I hear you.
Early game the East Coast. We'll see how they do.
Yeah. I mean, you're right.
That's the same Denver
well.
defense that gave up 70 points last year. I mean, I know they've changed, but they haven't changed that much.
No, you're right. But remember, after they gave up the 70, they did get a lot better even last season. But again, I think Brees Hall's a good call. He's a talented back, but I love the Aaron Jones revenge game. Did not even think of that. That's a great, I bet he would love. I mean, he's going to want it. So love that.
Right. And the Vikings are going to let him have it too.
Yep.
So, all right, let's go a couple receivers here.
All right. So the Cowboys are out. So I am going to go with, let's see. I'm going to go with, I like Nico Collins from the Texans. He's so big and physical. I did not realize how big he was until I was just kind of watching him, and man, he's something. So I'll go with him. I think I'm going to go with Devonta Smith from the Eagles against the Buccaneers. Maybe I think he could do all right, but I also kind of want to go Marvin Harrison Jr. against the Commanders. So I'll go 3 receivers, and I'm going 3 receivers. I'm going Nico Collins, Devonta Smith, Marvin Harrison Jr.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to blow your mind with this one. I'm going to go Marvin Harrison Jr.
Okay.
Rome Odunze, and I'm going to go Terry McLaurin.
Okay. I mean, obviously, as a Bears fan, I'd love to see your Odunze call come.
Yeah, I feel like the Rams are kind of again, they had a great game. I don't think they can hold up for 2 in a row. I think that with all their injuries, they're going to struggle a little bit more.
The Rams got beat a lot too, and the Niners just couldn't convert. So I don't know. The Bears are a hot mess. So who the hell knows how that game's going to go?
It's just when you think a team is a hot mess, week 4 is the perfect time. Again, this could be the week that the Jaguars beat the Texans. I'm not going to say it. I'm not giving any pro tips, but I mean, this is the kind of stuff that happens in week 4. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, let's round it out quickly with the defensive player that let's go. We haven't seen sacks yet. So let's go with a player who's going to get 2 sacks.
Well, one
has
sack,
it just been tackles?
It's just been tackles so far, but I think let's just say.
What do you want to do? Do you want to do tackles or sacks?
Let's do 1 tackle, 1 sack, 1 interception. Who's your tackle play? Who's your sack play? And who's your interception play?
All right, hit it.
All right, my tackle play is going to be. I'm going to go with the guy who I would go with, in playbook the other weeks, which would be Brisker from the Bears. He hasn't had less than 6 yet in a week, so I'm taking Brisker. But again, only because he's got moments at all levels. If you really want to go for it, I'm sure there's guys that have, whatever. But so we'll go with Brisker on the Bears for my tackles. For my Sacks, I will take, let's see here. I'm going to go, actually, you know what? I'll take Lucas Van Ness from the Packers. He has been like really getting after it. I think I could see him getting in there, getting a sack there. Or you could go Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals, who still got it. Oh no, sorry. I got TJ Watt, Steelers. That would be my sack play. Interception. Who's going to be throwing the ball up? I will take, let's see, who do we got? I'm going to go with Derek Stingley, Texans. I think Trevor's going to dish one up. I'm sorry. Just to kind of go with the numbers.
All right. I am going to go Jair Alexander with my interception.
Okay. I thought about that, but
Sam Darnold gets picked.
Okay.
For my sack, I want to take, well, it's kind of tough because I don't think he's got a rare or a legendary yet. I want to take that rookie from the Colts.
Latu.
Latu,
yeah.
But because he doesn't have a legendary or rare, I'm going to pass on him. Let's see. I'll just go with, is Chris Jones healthy?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Yeah, I think, I mean, with what's his name possibly not going to play or not being that mobile,
no, that's a good call.
I think
you
that's...
you go with what you know. Like, you go with the TJ Watts, the Chris Jones.
Yep. And then what do I got? I got tackles I got to make here. I'm going to go, I need a solid safety or linebacker that's going to make a lot of tackles for me. Let's see. Isn't Budda Baker's hurt, is it?
He did. I don't know what his status is. He did exit the game, but yeah. I'm
going to kind of throw up a shot on this one. I think he gets enough tackles normally. But I'm going to go with Jesse Bates. I'd have to look into the numbers of Jesse Bates, but he's a baller. He jumps off the page to me. He's a safety. So I'll go that route. So we'll see how that pans out for the games. But yeah, I'll be interested to see how Playbook works out this week. Maybe they'll throw a curveball our way, something new.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see that. So let's wrap it.
All right.
Peace.